great.
You look great. How are you, Melanie? Oh, wait. Let me just intro the show. Let's get
Good.
this right off the bat. Let me explain to our viewers why we are dressed like this. We are here for Courtney K's amazing celebration show. Today, we are just celebrating all things Courtney K, who is a dear, dear friend of us and to the show. And so we are cosplaying as the main characters in her beautiful book, In the Event of Love. So let's just welcome you guys to Of the Publishing Persuasion. I'm Angela Montoya, author of Sinner's Isle, coming out in fall 2023. And I am here with the blonde bombshell. She is fierce and feeling it. She is a businesswoman. I am here with Melanie Morgan, Sexy Pants Schubert. Melanie.
Oh, wow. How do I follow that? But yes, here I am today, the blonde bombshell you dreamed of. Cosplaying.
Yes.
I keep holding my phone because that's how she is on the cover. I hope that I don't look like I've lost it. And you've got your axe. So yes, we're cosplaying. If you can see us, I mean, I feel like it's worth turning on the video for this. So you can see us cosplaying as Rachel and Morgan, the two main characters of Courtney's beautiful book, In the Event of Love. And honestly, like, what a full circle moment. Like, it's so surreal to me. I was just saying to my husband last night, like, it both feels like ages ago, but also almost like yesterday that we were recording with Court, like almost straight after Pitch Wars-ish, and just like still on the high of that, and like just feeling like the book was so far. I remember her just saying, it's so far away. It's so far away. And we were like, it'll be in the blink of an eye. And then here we are. It's so surreal to me and so wonderful. I'm just so hopped up on good feelings today. I can't even.
I know. I was so excited for the show. Well, for so many reasons. I mean, we love Courtney. She is just a joy and just a ball of beauty. She's just like
Yeah.
radiates like
Good
goodness.
energy.
She's just a lavender lollipop. But we were excited about that, but also Melanie has been scheming costumes and like going hard. She committed to her cosplay. I think we have awakened some new piece, this new
That
joy, this new thing in you. So I think you need to
you
cosplay.
killed it too, though. You didn't like, you brought it. Like, you are cover Rachel. Like,
I did it. I'm wearing my partner's pants because I didn't have my own, and I stole his axe. So it wasn't too hard for me. I'm a lumberjane. We don't need much, you know?
I think once I committed to like getting a different wig and getting the coat, I was like, I'm just in. I'm all in. I'm all in at this point. I felt like some kind of like murderous hair thief when I was dyeing this, because the original wig was this cheap, long, like white blonde thing that I got for a couple of bucks from, a dollar shop. And I was like, it looks like it's doable, but I was like, I'll try get it up to scratch. And so I literally had this wig sitting in my bathroom the last few days drying. Like, I tried to dye it with a few things, but the coffee worked in the end. So it's like a more yellow blonde now.
Yes.
I honestly just had so much fun. So apparently I love cosplay, but I think I love doing it for like, I'll always love doing it for a friend, if that makes sense. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm gonna be at Comic-Con like dressed up as Wonder Woman or anything, but I really enjoy doing it like with all the details for Bookstagram, maybe for our friends' books. So when
Yeah.
we're inspired, maybe we're gonna have to have a little Rosa and Mariano number happening. Just saying.
Yes, absolutely. I will be Mariano. I,
I've seen you in that filter, so I already know what to expect. It's gonna be great.
oh, that's true. Maybe it's not that.
It is exciting. I'm here for it. I feel like our viewers need to see.
I won't wax. I won't wax for a few weeks. It'll be good.
I could do the same. Nobody warns you about that. Just like side note, nobody warns you that like as you get older, it's like you're gonna have to maintain that shit or you're gonna have a beard. Like
No, I've always been hairy. It's always been a problem, and a very embarrassing problem. Because like when you're a kid, what do you don't know what to do. So I just figured it out. I shaved my arms and but that's a whole nother trauma we don't need to get into.
But I feel like it's only embarrassing because people made it that way. Like, thank God for the new generation who are just like trying to embrace all our bodies in all our glory. Because yeah, like you shouldn't have had to feel embarrassment for that. It's just human, yeah. Like everybody's got our own different ways, and yeah, it is another whole thing.
Yeah, that's the next episode. We'll get to that.
There's a lot to unpack there, so we'll save it for another episode. But yes, a very important issue that I'm like, we can discuss that anytime. I'm here for it. But it was just so wonderful to have Court on today, and just like having the three of us chatting and like having started out in Pitch Wars together and seeing that book. Like Court was one of the first people I was like changing materials with. Like I remember we were reading over each other's Pitch Wars finals, like the little snippet submission. So it's like right in the early stages, I was like, even then I was like, fuck, this is good. This is gonna go off, and it is already, it will even more. I just can't wait.
I know. I literally was teary-eyed and like,
yeah, me too.
At the end of it, when you guys have to listen all the way to the end, because what Courtney has to say is so powerful and it melted my soul. Like it was so good. And it was just like a breathe moment, So, but I want to ask you, Melanie, let's get into business real quick before we introduce Courtney. Yeah. Before we have fun, we need to discuss a possible race.
Oh!
What is it called? I have not forgotten Miss Blondie. Okay,
you're gonna fight this Aussie lightning.
Yeah, someone was over there talking all her smack. We are gonna have a revise off, right?
Yeah.
But we have to figure out the rules. I've had a few friends ask, like, "Hey, we want to join in, but what are the rules?" And I said, "I have no idea." I don't know.
Figure out some rules. I'm down for that. We might have to like convene after to work it out, because on the spot I can't immediately think of like what the rules would be. But maybe we could have a prize. Maybe the prize could be, because I've ordered extra copies of Court's book and I want to do a giveaway when they arrive. Maybe that can be the prize. Well, then we can't win.
But yeah, we'll be winners in spirit, right?
Yes, I should have stuck with my original idea of let's convene later, because this is what happens when I try to come up with an idea on the spot.
Yeah, I think we don't have to do fast like we did last time, because now we're in a different mental space. We are working and tweaking now, but I am slow. I started rereading my set book 2 last night, and I was in my hot ass office for like 2 hours and I did 1 page, but it's a good page.
Because sometimes that's the truth. I'm laughing just because it's relatable, not because I'm laughing at you. It's just so relatable that some days, like, yeah, like I haven't got past chapter 1 either. Like I'm slow. And I think we're just finding our pace though. I mean, also it sounds like you're trying to cop out of the race part before we get going. So I don't know, Angela. I can't promise you I'm going to go slow once I get going. That's all I'm saying. So
okay. The gauntlet has been whatever the gauntlet does. It's been thrown. I don't know. What does the gauntlet do?
The gauntlet, isn't that the glove from a suit of armor that they slap each other with?
Okay.
I think
good to know.
That armored hand. What?
I just, in my mind, I don't know why I thought like a gauntlet was like a stick, like a, I don't know what I thought it was. I just say it and I didn't even know what it was. So it's a like a
I
armor.
believe so. I'm saying I believe so. I've definitely Googled it, but now that, you know, when you're like saying it as a fact, like when I said the Hygge stuff was Swedish and it was like something else. Someone corrected me later. Thank you for that. I think it's Norwegian, I want to say. And you say Hug, not Hygge.
Oh.
I've learned. But I think I can be safe to say, yes, I believe the gauntlet is the armored glove.
Oh, and then you like, do you throw it down?
You
Because
throw it
I feel,
down.
yeah, I just watched a movie where they did that. It makes sense. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm. So the gauntlet has been thrown.
It's thrown, baby. It's thrown. And I feel like now I forgot to toss this when Court was here. Now's the right time to toss this confetti that I have.
That for Court?
That was for Court. I forgot because I got too caught up in our narrative of Morgan and Rachel.
Yeah. Okay, well, at least she's gonna see that. So Courtney, that was for you.
Well, it was also like me throwing the sand as well. Like, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
What it was, okay?
Okay, whatever it was, it's been thrown. It's been thrown.
It's been so thrown. But how are you otherwise? Oh my gosh, your pillow in the background. The whole time I was looking, it's glorious.
Isn't it? Thank you. And then I put some books there. So a lot of the books, I want to say, a lot of the books people have been on our show that are those books. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna add and subtract and work on it, but I
a goat, a framed goat on your shelf? What the fuck am I looking at?
yes,
Is that
it
like
is.
a special goat? Like Sally who died 10 years ago or something? What am I?
Yeah, you're right. It is a goat. It's
Why am I witnessing this gloriousness?
he's gone. It was a gift from my stepmom, and it says it, what do you want me to do with it? It's there.
I'm gonna need a close up later. Can you please
Okay.
put the photo up because he looks very benevolent and royal from here. He's watching us all, Mr. Goat.
Yeah. Yeah.
All happening. But I actually did the same. I started putting my these are all our guests.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's exciting. It's surreal having like a shelf of people that we know and we love and we support and all the good things.
I know. Pretty soon we're gonna have Courtney K's on there.
Yes.
How are you?
Yeah, good. You didn't answer. How are you?
Oh, I got sidetracked, but I think you questioned me about the goats.
It wasn't there last week that I know, and suddenly there it was, smiling at me.
I guess not. Yeah, we're great. The goats and I are great. No, I'm good. I finished my revisions. Actually, they weren't even due.
Really?
They weren't even due till like Monday, coming up next Monday. But I finished them. And so I went through and I did like 2 major rounds where I like tweaked a bunch of stuff. And then the third round, I listened to it with our beloved app where voice stream app that you just listen to the.
Yes, amazing.
And so I got through it and I was tweaking things and I cut things and I got through it in like 2 days. And
amazing.
and I just knew I was tapped out.
Yeah.
But I did it. Like I got she was asking for between like 87K to 89K. And I was like, that's impossible because I added scenes. I did more, deep in characters. There was no way I was 2,000 words over. And I cut like random things. And then I was talking to Margie Fuston about it, who was my Pitch Wars mentor and a friend. And she was like, just like cut a few words each page. and it'll add up. And, you know, like, and obviously the filler words, those things will add up. And it really did. So I got it. I made it to like 88. No, it was 80, like 87,998 words.
That's
So
genius advice, and well done you. That's a
yeah,
mammoth effort, 2 days.
I know. I did it. I did it. I did it. I was a little like afterwards, just like after our draft race, you know, where you just,
Yeah.
okay, spent. But now I feel like I'm excited to start to get back into the projects we were working on during our draft race. So,
Yeah.
so now I'm just doing that.
It's gonna be around the corner that we're gonna be cosplaying as Rosa and Mariano, I swear. Like it's gonna escalate that quickly.
Yeah.
And yeah. Do you feel relieved that you have this draft that we did now all ready to go?
Yes, I do. I honestly and truly do, because it's like, obviously I know it's kind of it's a really rough draft,
Hmm.
but really the bones of the story is there
Yeah.
and I can work with it. And so I feel good. Like I've been just doing research because I want to base it in I mean, obviously you probably don't know much about like California history.
Only what you told me.
Yes, yes. So, but I'm basing it like in early 1800s California, which is still part of the Mexican Empire. So I've been doing a lot of research about it and I've just been nerding out. And so it's been fun.
That's going to show later, like all those little things you'll be able to add from that research that will just come naturally from your brain. That's my favorite way to write. Like you're doing all this nerdy research now in the best way. And later those facts will come to you as you're writing and you'll just seamlessly slot it into places where it will just work so well. I'm so excited for this next one. I cannot wait. And yeah, let's get revising, baby.
Yeah. What are you up to? What have you been doing this last week?
I mean, dyeing my Morgan wig. I didn't
Yeah.
get much done this week, if I'm honest, but it was glorious in its own way. Like, just took my time editing the podcast. I'm excited to get back into full revisions mode, but I just saw no need to push it. But this is perfect. This is what I needed, us to have a little revisions race to get going. Because, yeah,
Yeah.
I think the temptation is there to just keep going and like have something new immediately. But I'm really just pacing myself now, continuing to send out queries with Soul Swapped when another age, because a lot of agents are shut that I haven't even got to query yet. So waiting till they open. And man, some of them are quick. Somebody opened the other day for 10 days and I missed her because I was like,
Wow.
10 days, you got to jump on it. So there's a whole bunch. Like, really, I'm only just getting started querying that. And I'm so relieved I'm taking my time with it
Yeah.
because, but I can only do that because I have this other project. For me, I need something else that I'm working on. Otherwise, my whole focus goes into query, panic, panic, panic. Whereas now I'm just kind of like, yeah, like that's really important to me and I'm doing everything I can. I feel really good with where it's at. But if it's not that one, I'm working on this one. Do you know what I mean? It's like it just changes everything for me to have two works that I'm so proud of. And mine's a mess as well, my current draft. But like you said, the bones are there. And the bones that are there, I love them so fucking much already. Like, I'm excited that I wrote that, you know?
Yeah.
You know when you're just feeling yourself and you're like,
Feel it.
I did that. I did that. And even just sending off a query the other day, just loving on myself right now. Like
Love it. Love on yourself.
sometimes when you haven't read your work for a while, I found myself telling myself maybe Soul Swapped isn't that good. I don't have an agent with it yet. Maybe it's not that good. Maybe it needs to be the next one. But it's funny, like the last query I sent, I read over my sample pages again and I was almost in tears because I was like, no, I still fucking love this. I'm so proud to send it out. And that was nice too, because historically, you know, when you start out and you're querying, you are usually sending out stuff that's not that polished at the very start. But now I'm like, I'm coming back months after finishing and I'm still like, oh, she's good. She's good and I love her and I'm proud to send her out. So that's a nice feeling to have. But yeah.
I'm excited for you. I have good feelings. This is gonna something good's coming. I'm feeling it. I'm vibing it in the air. And I'm really excited to read this new book when it's ready of yours, because I just the synopsis alone, yes. I give it to
Excited
me.
for both of us to see how we've grown as writers in the last year. And like, we're both familiar with our old works, each other's old works. I'm excited to read a new Montoya. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's exciting to see the next idea that your brain's been cooking up. So to see the ideas all our friends, I swear, just our class of Pitch Wars, they're just my favorite books in general. Like, they just hit different, from our 2020 class. So I'm just gonna fill this shelf here with all those books.
Fill it up. Yes. Well, let's get into our star of the show, who was in our Pitch Wars class, who is Magic.
She is rainbows and sunshine. Just the most wonderful human. We should read Court's bio. Gonna do it this week?
Sure. Courtney K, pronouns she, they, writes the sweet and steamy happily ever afters that give her queer little heart great joy. She lives in Southern California with her husband, child, and thoroughly spoiled cats. Some of her favorite things include family movie nights, breakfast for every meal, devouring romance books, and attempting to keep her succulents alive. Courtney's debut novel, In the Event of Love, will release on August 30th, 2022 with Kensington and headline Eternal. And the sequel, In the Case of Heartbreak, will follow on April 25th, 2023. She can be found on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Court_K. That
was perfect. That was perfect. And I just cannot wait for everybody to hear this episode and just join in the celebration and the party with us. I'm sure a lot of our listeners have been on this journey as well and been watching Court from that episode or been in our class or whatever. So let's just all celebrate together with her now. And yeah, here she is.
Morgan, where are you?
Rachel! Rachel! I'm here!
Did anybody ask for a lumberjane? Because I am here.
We're here, we're queer, and we are the characters from your front cover.
I think we
froze.
Can you hear me? There you are. What do you think?
I think I love you two so much.
Amazing. How does it feel to have people cosplaying your book cover?
I don't know. It feels like I love you.
I'm just a city girl with my latte and my cute lavender nails and my phone.
I'm just gonna go chop down some Christmas trees. I'll be back.
Oh, holy shit.
Jab my lilac lover nails at that email.
Oh my God,
When we cosplay, we cosplay hard.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We went for it. Melanie really went for it. She has been, her wig, she has custom dyed that wig.
Wait, what?
That's only because I bought a cheap wig from the $2 shop, and then I looked at it and it looked like very Anna Faris from like a horror movie, and I was like, Morgan would never. So I tried to dye it and it didn't work because it was so cheap. So I dipped it in coffee. So now we've got like a beautiful golden glow and some undertones.
Oh my gosh, fantastic. You two look beautiful, like a winter dream.
Yes, thank you. Well, it honestly feels so special coming into this episode with you because, we all started this wild journey together, and here you are. Your book baby's coming, and we had to do it big. We had to celebrate in any way we can because it's such a huge deal. And we're just so proud of you and so excited for you. And I can't wait just to hear all the good things that more and more readers are going to just fall in love with Morgan and Rachel like we have.
I just love you two so much. I cannot believe you dressed up like that. It's amazing.
Hey, when we go hard, we really go hard.
Truly. How, like, down to the hat, like the headwear.
Listen, I'm not going to pretend I don't have blisters on my feet from how long I was walking around the shopping center looking for the exact Morgan accents. Because the other hats were weird. They didn't look like the ones on the cup. At a point, I just gave into the obsession and enjoyed myself. I think I actually like cosplaying. Like, I really got into the details and getting the right color coat from the cover, which I'm loving. Anyway, I feel very stylish in my Morgan coat.
It's adorable.
It looks great on you.
Fun fact, that coat was, the illustrator did that. Monica Rowe, came up with their outfits. And I was in past pages when I saw the cover. So I was able to go back and write in the pink coat.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because I just love the outfits so much. I was like, no, if this is the scene, it has to be in the book.
Yes. But you know what? It totally feels like something Morgan would wear. And
it does.
Rachel lives in flannel. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, for sure.
Flannel. What Lumberjane doesn't? Am I right?
I know. Right. Especially in the Hallmark verse.
Yeah. I know. My partner always gets mad whenever I'm watching Hallmark because, they're in flannel, in work boots, but perfectly clean. They've never worked a day in their outfits. And he's like,
just a little glisten.
Yeah. They have to look perfect while they're banging the hammer or
yeah. For sure.
Angela just happened to have an axe lying around.
No, I believe that one. I immediately when I saw the axe, I was like, Angela already had that. 100%.
Yeah.
It's been used. You can tell. This is a real axe.
That is legit.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get into why we're here. And that is to talk about, you and your book, In the Event of Love, which comes out August 30th.
Yes. Oh my gosh. 22 days.
So soon. It's wild. I remember reading this a year ago. Yeah. I want to say it feels like, right?
Right. I know. It's finally happening.
At least.
How does it feel? How does it feel to see your book in people's hands already? And, obviously it's touching lives. Look at us. We are in. How does it feel? How are you feeling?
It feels like everything at once. I don't know. It feels so surreal. I feel like, wow, I was just sitting on my couch, hoping that I could have a book, in this sort of vibe to read. And now there are plenty, even more than mine. And just the people getting so excited about this happening is so touching. And the messages from people saying that this is their first time seeing themselves represented in a little cozy holiday Hallmarky book is absolutely flooring. It's brought me to tears, and it's also gosh, 2020, you'd think we would have had something so much sooner than this. But I say that obviously in the indie space there were already so many books in this vein, but I think mainstream and traditional publishing, it was hard to find. I don't think it was, at least that I know of, so I could be wrong because there were so many writers that came before me. Would be Written in the Stars by Alexandria Bellefleur. That is set during the holidays too, and that's a beautiful sapphic love story. Yeah. But I know at least when I looked, it was very difficult for me to find something. So now that there's like starting to be this vein of like specifically queer, cozy holiday books, it's so amazing. It's so amazing.
Can you give our listeners a synopsis or a little pitch of what In the Event of Love is about?
Yes. So Morgan Ross is our LA event planner who is on the cusp of getting a giant promotion when a major scandal like upheaves her career, and she's forced to go back to the little mountain town she is from and run a fundraiser with none other than Rachel Reed, who is the girl who broke her heart 7 years ago in order to save her tree farm. So it's very like your quintessential like Hallmark tropes, but hopefully subverted, you know, and to celebrate the queer community and lots of things. So that's it.
Seriously, when I was looking up, because I remembered the nails, but I wanted to double check, I was trying to find if her lipstick was mentioned. And even just glancing over your book again, I'm like, I'm not even just because I'm your friend. I wanted to read it again so bad.
Oh,
All the cozy vibes. There's so few books I feel that way about where I'm just like, I want to read this now again. And it's just such a beautifully cozy, the Hallmark vibe perfectly captures that. I just can't wait for the world to have access to it.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
And I think it was like a day or two ago where you received, was it the final, like your author copies?
Yes.
And I was crying watching you cry, but how did that moment feel? You know, it's, you know, we see, like, we write the book, we edit the book, we go through all the crap, but it's for that moment, right? So how did it feel to see that box and to rip it open?
Wild. So I've been waiting for the box to arrive. I wasn't sure when it would, but I knew it's coming soon because the book comes out in a few weeks. And so I kept checking the porch, and Michael, my husband, texts me and said, "Oh, I think there's a delivery on the porch." So I open it, and it's these two big boxes that say Penguin Random House. And I screamed and I slammed the door shut. Like, I couldn't even like look at them. And then I like peeked out and I recorded it on Instagram Live because I didn't want to like, I just wanted to do it, like open it with friend, you know? But yeah, here she is.
Yeah.
Right here. And it has like everything I hoped it would have, which is the embossed title with the shine. It's a little hard to see here, but it's matte and it's just so beautiful. It's so hard to describe how these moments feel for me. I don't know. I think I need to process them longer. Like I still feel so in the middle of it. Like I just keep looking at the box in my living room because I have no idea where I'm going to put all these books. But I keep looking at the box like kind of like walking around it and like eyeing it. Like I don't know what to make of it. I don't know how to process all of this yet. I feel like it's going to take me a while.
I feel like sometimes when you go on like a really profound trip to somewhere really special, sometimes I feel that way, like I haven't been there until I look at the photos later. You like do need time to process some of those major moments because it's a lot. It's like so many emotions, so many feelings. So can you tell us like what's been like a highlight for you? I mean, getting the books.
Oh yeah, getting the books, holding it in my hand, and because I think so much of what we do in writing exists in our little devices, in our phones, and our computers, and holding that book is like, okay, this is actually real. That's wild. But just a highlight of the year has been you all, you know, my friends, and celebrating every milestone. Like no matter how small, seemingly small things have been, it's like screaming about it together. Meeting readers for the first time is wild. Like it's also so different because I still consider myself such a reader, you know? So it's interesting being an author as well because I feel, I don't know. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, I guess I did write that. You know, I don't know. It's still so like, I still feel so very detached from having written a book. Maybe it will be more real like it when it's out there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but definitely that's the highlight. And like learning to work with my team, learning what publishing is like, kind of like starting a new job, like learning,
Mm.
yeah, just sort of becoming a little bit more comfortable in the space a
And
little
you've
bit.
had growth too. I mean, we've
Yeah.
been there and watched you. I mean, it hasn't always been easy, well, for any of us, right? And so
Right.
watching this, like, this growth, this like becoming, right? Of like the butterfly has arrived and here she is in her purple sorbet dress and
Which I am living for.
yeah, but it is really fun from a friend's
Mm.
standpoint, like from behind the scenes, watching you grow and seeing this beautiful book turn into a real thing. It's just been so fun and rewarding just to be a friend of yours and watch all of this come to be. And so I know Melanie has been so excited. I mean, she's been dyeing wigs, she has been painting nails, but we have just been probably the most excited to have you back on and celebrate. I feel like this is what this podcast is. This episode is just a celebration of you and all that you've accomplished because it has not been easy, but you've taken it with grace and honesty, and it's been really, really beautiful to watch. I
I
had
love you
something else to
too.
say there, but I lost my train of thought.
That was
That
beautiful.
was a beautiful speech. I'm gonna toast to that. That it
Yes.
you ran
Most
out of what you were
definitely.
saying because it was perfect there.
It
Yes,
was
cheers.
perfect. It was
It was
Cheers.
beautiful.
perfect.
I
But
want, oh, this is it. This is what I was thinking. Because it is weird when I think for most of us, we start out as readers and
Yeah.
fans of authors, and to flip it where now you are the author, but you're also still the reader. It's a weird, like, transition, I feel, where like I've just been seeing stuff unfold on TikTok. Stuff's always unfolding on TikTok, but like to
Mm.
watch, like to hear, authors should separate from readers. But like I feel like it's such a fun thing. Obviously, there's no always everybody's gonna love it. We know that, but it's
Right.
so beautiful to find somebody it does click with,
Yeah.
and I think seeing people give beautiful reviews of this book has got to
Oh.
just feel like
yeah.
chef's
It it is amazing. And something one of my friends told me and that I have found is true is that your readers, like the readers who really connect with your book, they will find you. You know, you don't have to seek them out. Like they will come to you and um with their joy and excitement about the work or what it represents. And so I am finding that like to be true in this community space. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Ah, I
Even
don't.
just the reviews I've seen you posting so far, you can just kind of tell you're like, oh, that reader got it. They really got it.
Mm,
They really felt it. And it is such a beautiful thing. What about like the hardest parts? What are some of the things that have just been challenges for you on this journey?
yeah, I think the transition from being alone essentially with the work
Mm.
to then having it be read and having a lot of people share all their opinions, especially as you're trying to write a second book. I think it's just transitioning um, for this, like at the start of your career, learning how to deal with all of that mentally. Um, I think that was really difficult because for me personally, because before it was like a little bubble I had, with my critique partners and my family, and like nobody really read my work. And so to have it be read and critiqued was both a huge honor that somebody would even like take the time to read. And also, like I needed to set boundaries on how I dealt with coming across those critiques, you know, because sometimes when you're trying to write forward, it's not always helpful to be going back over something that's already done, you know, unless it's like, you know, of course, as an author, if there's any sort of major issue, we want to know if like something is impacting our readers. But if it's someone's like just I don't know how to say, do you know what I'm saying? Like just personal opinion.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's my memory's failing me now. Angela will remember when I say it, but one of our guests, her thing that I'll hold on to forever was block out the noise. And I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah, thank you.
Like, there's so much jibber jabber. If like when you try to come in and make the community and promote yourself and like in a real, authentic, meaningful way, you find these incredible like-minded souls that you connect with and who elevate you and scream your name. But you also find trolls, like a lot of trolls with very like sad, twisted, shriveled hearts who just like, I don't know, derive joy from bringing other people down to feel better about their miserable existence or something. I don't know why people do this shit, like, but it's a lot. And like even just I so limit my Twitter engagement these days because you get on Twitter and everybody wants to pummel you with the 101 negative thoughts, and it's a lot. And we're only like one individual with the whole world around us we already have to deal with. So if you try to take on all of that inflow, which we do, we don't realize we're doing it, right? We do. We log on, we start reading, we get emotionally invested. An hour later, you're watching these two Karens battle it out in the comments, you know? And at first you're like, this is fine, this is great. But you log off and you're like, I feel like death because there's so much activity that I've absorbed now.
Yeah.
Like you turn it off, but you can't really shut it off. It sticks with you.
It's true.
Yeah. And I think I think every author has to learn there are spaces for you and there are spaces just for readers. And I think that's just a journey every author has to go through in the beginning because you know, you just have to learn to set up those boundaries for your brain.
Absolutely. I gotta say, their trolls kind of crack me up though, because so one time I went live on TikTok and someone said, and like user 269748 said, "Whoa, are you part horse?"
Oh my God. Let me at them.
I was like, but where? Is it the teeth? Is it, what are we talking about? And I was just, it made me laugh. I mean, I blocked it, but like, I was just like, why put that negative out there? Luckily I could, like, it was funny to me, but why trolls? There's no point. But sometimes misery loves company, right? And needs it. And so.
Right.
Usually those people, it's their insecurities speaking. They're jealous because you're fucking gorgeous. And all they can do to comfort themselves is to pick apart your appearance because they're uncomfortable in themselves. Every time. It's always them, the trolls. It's something inside them is unsettled and they don't face that. So instead they pick apart everyone else to make sense of their own worldview so that they don't have to ever challenge that.
Yeah. That's
it. What are some, like, may I ask you a question?
Yes.
What?
I know, like, you need to be so active, you know, online for your amazing podcast and also like as authors, like we do that. We have an online platform. So how do you set up, like, do you have a specific routine or like tools that you use to set those boundaries for yourself to protect your space?
That's a great question. Honestly, it's something I'm really dealing with right now. I feel, you know, when you're in revisions, especially, or coming out of it or going into drafting, like your brain is already so busy and full. There's so much that you have to like maintain inside this noggin. And to constantly like check your phone or reply to things can be so like much. And I feel like even my text messages, like from family, I don't have like the energy.
Yeah.
And it's not even
no.
hard. Are
I'm
you
cold. I'm cold.
Same.
it's hard. It's hard, especially if like you're introverted naturally. It's like it's so hard to just, I want to, but I just can't yet. I'll get there, but I'm just not. And like for me, social media a lot of the time is an outlet of just like, okay, I can go crack a joke, make someone laugh, make myself giggle, and then get out. And I'll get to the comments when I can. But like that's, I think for me, I'm learning that I can't always, and to be okay with that. I mean, it sucks sometimes to miss like replying to someone, and I never like to not do that, but sometimes it's just not there, and my brain is fried. And I'm having to pull back. Like I was telling Melanie, I'm having to pull back on some of my commitments just because I didn't realize the podcast would take off like this. And and it keeps us busy. Luckily Melanie like carries the load, but like it's a lot. It's all of this, but it's so fun. So it's a weird balance of like, yes, it is a lot, but it also brings me so much joy. So I guess I just don't spend time with my family. That's how I solve it.
Love your work. Yeah, it's definitely, for me, it was kind of like a violent awakening. Like there's no better way to describe it, because I came from being like a major people pleaser and trying to do everything for everyone, be everything to everyone. And like Angela said, you cannot keep up with it all. And for me, like with all my anxiety and panic attacks, like it came to a crunch point where I was like, energy doesn't lie. Someone either makes me feel good and makes life feel easier, or they make life feel harder and they make me overanalyze things a million times more. And the way I handle it now is I don't apologize for avoiding that toxic energy like the plague anymore. Like I don't have time for people who are it's already hard enough. I need when I have friends like you, I'm like, I can do anything. And other people make me afraid to do anything. So I'm like, I just cut them off, or like minimal contact until like I'm a lot more cautious who I get close to now, who I invest time in, because it is hard. And just in life in general, like it gets busier, it gets more complicated, and you just you can't invest in everyone. And if you encounter that kind of like you're saying, being on a platform, you do get it tenfold. Also just learning that there's people who I can leave on red for days and they're not going to be like, oh, Melanie. They're going to like, oh, I understand she's away. They won't. There's people who will automatically make an excuse for you because they love you. And then there's people who will question the smallest thing. So I'm just looking out for that energy, and the people who like make me feel okay, accept that I'm gonna like not get back to messages for ages, accept what limited version of myself I can offer them instead of demanding more. And it's really fucking hard, because some people don't like that. They don't like that version of you, but then it's like, well, fuck off. I don't have anything else to give you right now, unfortunately.
Right, because then you're pulling from an empty space and depleting yourself.
Exactly.
That's it right there. I've noticed too, like if I come onto social media and I'm not feeling it, like I'm feeling drained or grouchy, like it reflects. I won't like things. I'm just like bitterly scrolling through things. But like if I'm in a good mood and I'm like, like I am like all over everybody's comments, like, yes, bitch. Yes. So I've noticed, like, if I'm not there, I just don't go there. I won't come on. I'll just be grouching in the corner. Reading a book. I don't know.
And I think giving yourself permission to do that is like such a beautiful self-awareness thing, because when you try to, like, you're so the weeks I've put the pressure on myself to engage because of like the algorithm or whatever, it's not I don't enjoy it. You like hate scroll, like fine, I like that, fine. It's just not real. Whereas like some weeks now I just let it go. I might do one post and like, fuck the algorithm. I can't keep up with it anyway. Like, it's changing all the time. So just do your best, you know, and engage in the way that's authentic to you. And it's
Do
definitely
what sparks joy.
Yes, there's so much
Marie
in writing.
Kondo.
Yeah, there's like so much in writing that hurts or like
Mm,
you can feel down about. So why not do the things that do bring you joy? Like, come on, let's
yeah.
just give ourselves a little break and just do what makes you feel good.
Yes. Yes. And make you feel like uplifted by your community.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah. And I think the podcast has been that for both of us. And that's why whatever work it's been for me, it's given back tenfold, you know? And
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And getting to have you on like this, especially for me being in Australia, I can't just waltz over and hang out with you guys. So getting to like Zoom and just catch up like this and celebrate our wins, it's just wonderful.
It's amazing.
It is. Now, okay, I want to go into your second book because you recently revealed the cover for that, and I am here for it. I love these characters anyways because they're in book one. Can you just tell us like what has that experience of writing a second book been like for you?
It has been, I hate to say, it's been hard. It's been very hard. Not for lack of joy in the work, but learning how to work in the midst of book one and just getting my bearings in publishing, and dealing with the noise. You know, I think for a long time, and you know, it's compounded when you have, like, I have anxiety, depression, and OCD. So
The
sometimes
trifecta, huh?
it's a great cocktail there. And so it's been learning different tools for my brain. It's been lots of therapy appointments.
Yeah.
And something amazing my therapist said was, this can be it can be many things at one time, and that doesn't mean something's wrong. Like you can feel joy, but you can also feel the difficulty and frustration, and that difficulty and frustration is just part of the process. It doesn't mean that something is off or something, you know, is something bad's going to happen. That's just part of life. And so, for example, with book two, you know, what is it? The left side of your brain, the right side is artsy. Is that what they say? I forget.
We'll go with it. We'll go with
it. Okay. The left brain is like, oh my gosh, this deadline, I need to have this in a month early. You know, like, I want to be a good student. I want to get that mark. But then the artistic side is like, I'm going to need more time. And so that's hard because asking for more time is hard for me to do. Asking for things is hard for me to do. But the work requires it. Yeah. So what can you do? Nothing. So that's been the process. Currently, right now, I'm reworking the whole outline, which is like very difficult and embarrassing, you know, because here we are. I've done the first draft. I'm working on developmental edits. And as I'm digging into it, I'm like, oh no. Something needs to change, like, foundationally in this book, and it's going to require a big rewrite. Before, it was like, no big deal. You know, I have time, I'll go back and do it. But under deadline, it's a different story. So it's just learning to ask for what you need of my family, of my friends, of my publishing team, and, you know, being gracious with yourself, I think, is the bottom line in everything. And yeah, I know the book will be better for it. And I am now finally feeling like excited. But I think with each book you write, you learn something different, whether it's querying or getting ready to query or getting ready to go on sub, or, you know, writing your second contracted book. It's like you always reach this point in the book that's going to make you push to the next level, and just kind of going with your gut and believing that, yeah, Yeah, that's what needs to happen, unfortunately. We've all been there, right? With stories.
I feel like there's like a quote or something that's like your breakthrough is just about to happen at like the hardest part. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, can say it better?
Yeah, no, that quote was what got me through like so many drafts of that. Lin-Manuel Miranda. I don't know how the precise wording, but that's how it is. Yeah.
Freaking Lin-Manuel, he is everywhere. I see him everywhere. I kid you not.
Freaking legend.
I know. He's
Oh, you
glorious.
said that in your live the other day, didn't you? Is it that quote?
Yeah.
Oh, so it was your live I took that from. Well, thanks. Great job.
No, but it was Lynn. It was Lynn. LMM.
It's like the hardest moment that's right before something massive is about to happen. And things
it takes that last big push.
Yeah.
Because you've gotten through all the other things, and then sometimes it takes just that one to get it done. That last big push.
The old mountain metaphor. It's the hardest climbing to the last steps at the top because you're on the big line. You're already exhausted from everything, but it really is a powerful metaphor. Yes, people use it. Climb every mountain and all that. Over to you guys.
Miley Cyrus. It's the climb.
Almost see it. I want to ask before I break off into song. So looking back at all you've done and been through this experience of publishing and writing first book and second book, what would you tell yourself at the from baby Courtney before she started writing these books? What advice would you give yourself?
Oh, probably don't worry. Be happy. No, but seriously, I think I tend to get very caught up in the moment. Like, oh my God, this is a crisis. How am I ever going to get past this? How am I ever going to finish this book? How am I ever going to be ready to query? How am I ever going to finish Pitchfork? Like everything feels like such a crisis in that moment. Yeah. And just knowing like, okay, this path that you're on because you've chosen it and it's chosen you because you love it. Like it's there's something in your soul that needs to do this. So it doesn't matter, like there's no failure, right? And even though so many times we can feel like we missed a goal or we missed, I don't know, something we were setting our sights on, in the end, we haven't failed. And I think that's because we put so much time and energy. Oh, Melanie.
That is beautiful. Oh. You got me in the end.
Oh. We put so much time and energy into this. And I think our society wants to quantify that into, well, what have you produced? What have you gained from this energy you've put out? It's like, I really fucking love it. I really love myself, and I really love like putting my heart on the page and just saying, look, I could do it, even if it's just to prove to yourself. There's nothing like finishing that draft. Nothing like finishing that revision or that goal. Like, I feel like no matter what external validation you get, there's literally nothing better than looking at your computer or looking at your notebook or whatever you've done and being like, I fucking did it. Like, take that self-doubt, take that past me and mean brain moments. You did it. And I feel like that is that's it right there.
That's fucking it right there. Like,
I really feel like it is, because beyond that, it's really out of your control anyway, and so like you control what you can. Yeah. You control your work, and once you finish that work, it's like, yeah, I can do hard things. We can do hard things.
It's so powerful. It's almost like this battle with yourself. And if you win the battle with yourself, you win life, I think. Like, because it's really like usually us standing in our own way, our negative back talk.
I feel like it's always,
yeah. That was beautiful. I'm just sitting here. You took us to Rite of Church, and I am basking in the beauty of that message. I see our time is almost up. Like, where did that go? Where did that go?
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like just that last, what you had to say right there was everything. Like, there is no failure. You're doing the damn thing. And it hits.
Yeah. So own the title, you know, call yourself a writer, call yourself, you earned that. You earn that every time you sit at your computer, every time you do it, like you're doing it.
Courtney.
Like, you're already enough, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, it's like the strike of what do they say? It's like just such a stroke of luck sometimes, publishing. So you cannot base your writing on something that is like so unreliable.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
You gorgeous thing. Thank you for your beautiful
I love you.
And we love you so much. Before this thing cuts out, tell our listeners where they can find you. Everybody add In the Event of Love to Goodreads right this moment. I am obsessed with this book. I will be cosplaying forever as Morgan.
Oh my God. Oh, should I show the art too?
Yes.
Was that?
I'm obsessed.
My moan was too sexual. I might have to censor that.
Alaska Blackbird.
For those of you who are just listening, what we just saw was the very sexy thigh image of Morgan and Rachel entwined lovers.
Clint, baby. I love you both. I think it's just at Court_K all across the platforms.
Perfect. Yes. We're going to have you on when book 2 comes out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The next
I love
book,
you so much.
The next book and the next book. We'll just
I need to get how do I put it on grid? Because I want to get there we go. I'm going to get a screenshot. Freaking fantastic. I love you too so much.
Oh, we adore you. It's gonna cut out any second, and
okay,
we'll have to Zoom again to celebrate all together. Hey.
I feel like I just want to hold this the whole time just to stay in.
Please do. It's giving me so much life. It's like, it's everything.
Yeah, we look good. We look good.
Prop, and I've got my prop.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I got to push it up like that. There we go. There we go. Oh, there she is. You're looking crisp and clean.
So crisp and so clean. We're just holding our props to just be in character. Okay, my prop's going down. But I want you to keep the axe there the whole time.
Yeah, let me just try. Let me rest it on something. There she is.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is way better, yeah?
Yeah, you look
Very
great.
good.
And we have a body shot now, and we got some shoulder. Like, I am ready for that.
Yeah, your dress is hot, and I love the fading out into different colors.
You two are hot. So I had purchased this rainbow dress for my launch event, and I got like a free dress to go with it. Like, it was just this deal this site was having, and so it's like this rainbow ombre situation. And I was like, if I have to pick a free dress, like, I'll probably only wear that around the house. I don't know when I'll wear it, but I thought this was the perfect time.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks great. It's just the right time. It's the right time.